domain of experience that can't be talked about. But one must remember at the same time that there's really nothing at all that can be talked about adequately. And the whole art of poetry is to say what can't be said. So every poet, every artist feels when he gets to the end of his work that there's something absolutely essential that was left out. So Zen has always described itself as a finger pointing at the moon. And you must be very careful not to mistake the finger for the moon, and especially careful if the finger looks religious, not to suck it for comfort instead of following where it points. In the Sanskrit saying that we were discussing in the first of these seminars, Tat Tvamasi, that art thou, Zen is concerned with that. That, of course, is the word which is used for Brahma, the absolute reality, in Hindu philosophy. And you're it, only in disguise, and disguised so well that you've forgotten it. But unfortunately, ideas like the ultimate ground of being, the self, Brahman, ultimate reality, the great void, all that is very, very abstract talk. And Zen is concerned with a much more direct way of coming to an understanding of that, or thatness, as it's called, tathata in Sanskrit. So Zen has been summed up in 4 statements. A direct transmission outside scriptures and apart from tradition. No dependence on words and letters. Direct pointing to the human mind and seeing into one's own nature and becoming Buddha. That is, becoming enlightened, awakened from the normal hypnosis under which almost all of us go round like somnambules. It's extraordinary how much interest has existed in Zen in the United States, especially in the years since the war with Japan. And naturally, I've often meditated on the reasons for this interest. I think, first of all, the appeal of Zen lies in its unusual quality of humor. Religions aren't, as a rule, humorous in any way. Religions are serious. And when one looks at Zen art and reads Zen stories, it is quite apparent that something is going on here which isn't serious in the ordinary sense, however sincere it may be. The next thing I think that has appealed to Westerners is that Zen has no doctrines. There is nothing you have to believe, and it doesn't moralize at you very much. It's not particularly concerned with morals at all. It's a field of inquiry rather like physics. And don't expect a physicist to discuss authoritatively about morals, even though as a human being he has moral interests and problems. But as a physicist, he is not a moral authority. Or if you go to an oculist or ophthalmologist to have your eyes adjusted, that is so you can see clearly. And Zen is spiritual ophthalmology. Another thing that appeals very much to Western students about Zen is that they've read their Zen from Suzuki and from some of my writings and from R.H. Blythe. And these people present a rather different kind of Zen from that which you will find today in Japan. They present what is essentially early Chinese Zen from the old writings ranging from about shortly before 700 AD to 1000 AD. And that Zen has a very different flavor from modern Japanese Zen. And so, of course, many of the people who go to study Zen in Japan disapprove of Dr. Suzuki thoroughly, and also, naturally, of my exposition of Zen, because we don't make a great fetish of studying Zen by sitting. In Japan today, they sit and they sit and they sit. R.H. Blythe asked the Zen master, what would you do if you had only 1/2 hour left to live? And he said, I would do Zazen, which means he would sit like the Buddha here and practice meditation. And Blythe had given him several choices. Would you like to listen to your favorite music? Would you have a dinner? Would you get drunk? Would you like the company of a beautiful woman? Would you take a walk? What would you do? Or would you just go on with your daily business as if nothing was going to happen? In other words, would you wind up your watch? So he was very disappointed in this answer. And he said, you know, sitting is only one way of doing Zen. Buddhism speaks of the 4 dignities of man: walking, standing, sitting, and lying. And so Zazen is simply the Japanese word for sitting Zen. There must also be walking Zen, standing Zen, and lying Zen. You should know, for example, how to sleep in a Zen way. That means to sleep thoroughly. Zen has been described as when hungry, eat, when tired, sleep. And when the student got that description, he said, well, doesn't everybody do that? And the master said they don't. When hungry, they don't just eat, but think of 10,000 things. When tired, they don't just sleep, but dream innumerable dreams. So in a sense, it sounds like the old Western truism. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. But that's not the same thing as Zen. A lot of people like to see if they could sum up Zen in that way, in the Latin motto of the school I used to go to in England, agedum agis, act when you act, or while you act. There's a famous story which beautifully illustrates the current relationships between East and West. Paul Reps, who wrote, or rather drew, a lovely book called Zen Telegrams, once asked a Zen master to sum up Buddhism in one phrase. And he said, don't act, but act. So Reps was simply delighted, because he thought the master had said, don't act, but act. And that, of course, would be the Taoist principle of Wu Wei, of action in the spirit of not being separate from the world, realizing so fully that you are the universe too, that your action on it is not an interference, but an expression of the totality. But the master's English was very bad indeed, and Paul Reps had misunderstood him. He had said, don't act, bad act. And you know, that is the sort of attitude that all clergy develop over the centuries. You know how it is when you go to church. You do. So often the sermon boils down to, my dear people, you ought to be good. And everybody knows that. Hardly anybody knows how. Or even what good is. No, the fascination of Zen to the West is that it promises a subtle insight into something that is always supposed to take years and years and years. The psychoanalysts, if you're mixed up, they tell you the troubles you've got yourself into over all these years can't be undone in a day. Therefore, it will take many, many sessions, maybe twice a week for several years for you to get straightened out. The Christians say that if you embark on a path of spiritual discipline, you get yourself a spiritual director and submit yourself to the will of God, but you may not get into the high states of contemplative prayer for very many years. The Hindus, the Vedanta Society people, the Buddhists also say will require many long years of meditation, very hard concentration, very difficult practice, and stern discipline. And then maybe you will make enough progress in this life to become a monk in your next life. Then you'll make enough progress to enter some of the preliminary stages leading to Buddhism. But it's all likely to take you many, many incarnations. But when this artist Hasegawa was asked, how does one see into Zen? He said, it may take you 3 seconds. It may take you 30 years. I mean that. And so you see, there is always the possibility that it may take only 3 seconds. Zen literature abounds with stories, you see, in which there's a dialogue, or what is called in Japanese mondo, which means question-answer, between the Zen teacher and his student. And these dialogues are fascinatingly incomprehensible. But it always seems to be that at the end of this swift interchange, the student gets the point. Sometimes he doesn't. I gave a book of these dialogues once to a friend of mine who was deeply interested in Eastern philosophy. He said, I haven't understood a word of it, but it's cheered me up enormously. So this book called the Mumonkan, which means the barrier with no gate, or the gateless gate, contains such stories as the student, I say student rather than monk, because Zen students are not monks in our sense of the word monk. Our monks take life vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And to make the grade, you're expected to spend your whole life in the monastic state. But I call the Zen monk a student because he's more like a student in a theological seminary. He may stay much longer than the usual 3 years. He may stay 30 years or so. But it's always possible for him to leave with dignity and to graduate and to go into lay life or become a regular priest in charge of a temple, married and have a family. And only very few graduates of the Zen monastery become Roshi, which a Roshi, that is the man in charge of the spiritual development of the students. So one of these students in the book says to the master Joshu, I have been here in this monastery for some time and I've had no instruction from you. The master said, have you had breakfast? Yes. Then go wash your bowl. And the monk was awakened. Now you may think that the moral of this story is do the work that's nearest, though it's dull at whiles, helping when you meet them, lame dogs over stiles. Or that the bowl might be a symbol of the great void, the all-containing universe. And probably the monk had washed it already, because they immediately after eating in Japan and China, in a monastery, they would take tea and pour it into the bowl and swill it around, wash it and wipe it out. So
oh, my
maybe
kitty cat is here!
And in that case, you might think that the master was saying, don't gild the lily. Don't, to use a real nice Zen phrase, don't put legs on a snake.
Don't put legs on the snake, kitty cat.
No. The point of that story,
Look at all the people following you. Ha!
that's what's difficult about it.
Well, nobody follows me.
And all these stories resemble jokes in this sense.
I'm listening to somebody else's clubhouse room right now, by the way. We're doing a Zen lecture meditation. They didn't come here because of me.
Ew, gross. Like, I don't know these people.
Gross?
If you don't follow, if you don't follow Megatron and you just follow me, leave.
Damn. Well, PRMGW, you don't have anything to say. You wanted to come up.
What do you have to say? And Shakuri down there. What? Good evening to everyone.
Hello, hello.
Yes, good evening to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And what about that Shakuri down there? What's up with you, guy? You just follow me around or something? That's
It
not
all
cool.
gets through, but not the tail. How is it that the tail can't get
You
through?
either followed Megatron.
Nobody could answer this.
No. Like, don't bother.
Another story tells of a certain master called Baijan, who was so good that he had hundreds of students, and they couldn't all be housed in one monastery. So he had to find one of the students who could also be a master. And so he arranged a test. He put down a pitcher in front of them all and said, without making an assertion or without making a denial, tell me, what is this? And the senior monk said it couldn't be called a piece of wood. The teacher didn't accept this answer. But the monastery cook came forward and kicked the pitcher over and walked away. And he got the job. And the commentator remarks, maybe he wasn't so smart after all, for he gave up an easy job for a difficult one. When an inquirer about Zen came to a master, they often, they approach the Zen master with a kind of key question. What is the fundamental principle of Buddhism? Or why did the bearded barbarian come from the West? Because Zen is supposed to have been brought into China by a Hindu named Bodhidharma. Bodhidharma is always represented as having a huge bushy beard and very fierce eyes. Now, Bodhidharma always insisted that he had nothing to teach. And so, why did he come?
We're saying I was doing all that pimp shit.
That's fundamental questions. You might say to me, I've often said when I'm giving a lecture, I'm not trying to improve you. I'm not trying to persuade you to a certain point of view. That is to say, like a preacher would convert somebody.
Okay,
In fact,
Kitty, are you
I
there?
have nothing to tell you at all.
Kitty, are you there?
An avid worshiper of Jupiter. In fact, he erected temples to Jupiter, and he proclaimed to be.
Usual suspects. What do you mean?
Every time.
Hey, what's up,
Every
John?
time
Hey.
that I block one little
Yeah,
asshole,
I have
then
this
all
really
the
great
trolls
essay
show up.
if you want to hear
In
it.
your rooms, Megatron.
You gonna read it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, read it.
So it's called The American Diner Gothic. In
How-
the 2020s.
Wait, how long is this gonna be?
Like 15 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's the American Diner Gothic. In the 2020s, the weird soul of placeless America is being born on Discord servers. You're not hallucinating the great weirding of America. The visual evidence is everywhere. Start with what you can see. You're in a small town in Wisconsin, the heart of normal America. The transgender assistant manager at CVS has septum piercing, a wolf cut, and a name tag that reads Finn. A block away, a 4chaner construction worker and the Sam Hyde shooter shirt listens to Blade and plots his impending virality. At Target, the anime section has metastasized from one shelf to an entire aisle. These aren't random weirdos, and they aren't teenagers in a phase. Walk through any office park and you'll find the same aesthetic bleeding through the cubicles. Anime stickers on laptops, Discord running on second monitors. They're the new American type, young but transgenerational, as distinctive as the Organization Man or the Valley Girl once were. I call them diner goths. What you get when economic mobility dies, suburbs become psychic deserts, and Discord becomes more real than your cul-de-sac. The term came to me when I was trying to identify what had, over the past decades, silently washed over the 95% of America that lived outside of the superstar cities. Placelessness without cosmopolitanism and with complacent downward mobility. A post-subcultural alt aesthetic with a post-nerd fandom orientation that's become a new mainstream. Weirdness, but casual and prolified. Diner goth. Diner for provincialism, goth as a lazy shorthand for alternative aesthetics. These tendencies are correlated. Something is making them happen together in the places previously considered to be the most normal. A new quirk of the 20s America is that geek equals goth equals left behind American. Diner gothdom exists as both a concentrated archetype and a mass cultural wave. The diner goth core is the pierced up, gender fluid Amazon warehouse worker who streams on Twitch, writes fan fiction, wears a furry tail to raves, runs an OnlyFans, and dreams of voice acting while working nights at the fulfillment center. But like microplastics, diner goth traits, anime consumption, subcultural diffusion, digital-first socialization have spread into everything. You don't need to be deep into show signs. It's in the memes, the slang, the TikToks. Culture that once lived on 4chan and Tumblr now shows up in the bros group chat. Even when the full archetype isn't present, the vocabulary is. People who aren't diner goths still live inside the same convergence. The online normie can no longer help but get the geek's reference. They understand the furry jokes, the anime reaction images, the gender tone. Formerly underground subcultural tributaries have emptied into the same water, and now the only difference between people is how deep they swim. Why is this happening? The diner goth is made possible by two things: American stagnation and the breakdown of barriers. Economics tells the story. Roughly half of 18 to 29-year-olds now live with their parents, numbers not seen since the Great Depression. But what has recently changed is that nobody is ashamed. This isn't a temporary, but embarrassing wait for recovery. It's the new normal. Gen Z home ownership sits well below that of prior generations. At age 27, only 33% of Zoomers own homes compared to 38% of Gen Xers and 41% of Boomers when they were the same age. Each generation slides further from the American dream, and they've stopped pretending to climb. 64% of Gen Z say they prioritize peace of mind over wealth accumulation. Of course they do. When a one-bedroom costs 70% of your income, when your student debt payments are higher than your parents' mortgage, when every job is temporarily permanent, what exactly are you supposed to accumulate? The economic race is over, and normal Americans lost. The diner goth looks at this and makes the only rational choice: stop trying to win. Meanwhile, the places they're stuck in are becoming indistinguishable. Regional culture is disappearing among American youth. Linguistic research provides the clearest evidence. The stark decline of the Texas accent among young people and of the northern cities' vowel shift around the Great Lakes. Everywhere you look, younger generations are dropping regional speech for the general American pronunciation. This trend of cultural flattening is particularly noteworthy because people are moving around less. In 2023, only 7.8% of Americans changed residence, the lowest rate ever recorded since the census began tracking mobility in 1948. Interstate moves, once a powerful homogenizing force, dwindled to just 1.4% of the population, about half of what it was 20 years ago. What we're seeing isn't the result of mass relocation, but something stranger: a cultural convergence happening in place. Provincial people are becoming more provincial while the provinces are losing their soul, and a new culture has flooded in from the internet. No single data point better illustrates the cultural movement of youth than this. 42% of Gen Z watches anime weekly, compared to 25% of millennials. But only 25% of Gen Z follows NFL football, compared to 44% of millennials. Anime has transformed from niche subculture to mainstream entertainment. The numbers are staggering. The fastest growing anime market in the world is North America, with an expected 16% annual growth rate by 2030. Crunchyroll, an anime streaming service, has an estimated 53 million North American viewers, while manga sales exploded up to 500% of some Barnes & Noble's locations in 2020. Major retailers like Walmart and Target now dedicate significant shelf space to anime merchandise, with the global anime merchandise market projected to reach $20 billion by 2032. Hot Topic, the emo apparel store in nearly every American mall, tells the story of geek and alt-fashion cultures collapsing into one. 3/4 of its products are licensed pop culture merchandise, including not just anime, but everything else for fandom and gamer types. We are in the early stages of a Cambrian explosion of novelty, and the most comfortable amidst it are the neurodivergents. 30% of adults under 30 identify as neurodivergent, while just 6% of those over 65 do. This is a mix between diagnostic improvement and a generation using medical language to describe their relationship to a fundamentally different world. When reality is 34 browser tabs, 3 Discord conversations, and a Twitch stream running in the background, ADHD is an adaptation. The geographic distribution of queerness defies every elite assumption. A 2022 study, rural Appalachian youth in a deep red Trump country reported transgender or non-binary identity at 7.2%. 4 times the 2017 national baseline of 1.8%. This inverts the adult pattern where cities are queerer than rural areas. No coastal elite indoctrination here. It's what happens when traditional life paths close up everywhere and the internet becomes the only space with options. The story tying together all the threads of this great weirding is the economic precarity creates alternative success metrics, which is why you don't easily find diner goth tendencies among the strivers in San Francisco and New York City. The new economic subject for the rest of America, online possibility. Playing the internet lottery and trying to build a following for your stream. You can meet anyone online. You can join any community. You can create anything from anywhere and get cozy glory from it. The diner goth conditions not just the proliferation of anime or queerness or all aesthetics, but the creative empowerment of the masses. This is the story of the collapse of the middle class consensus. The story goes like this. The great stagnation desacralizes local America through the homogeneous efficiency machine of national private equity, and everything flattens. Gen Z is disinherited by boomer policy that culminates but never crests, rationing the good life and generational warfare. Regional accents and identities and cultures are vanishing. Liquid internet flows into this void as a mass vision event, the mythic power of fandom and content overflowing from and washing over millions of minds in placeless America, the new soul of a soulless world. Subcultures and nerd cultures disappear into simply culture, self-oblivious and technicolor and sincere in a way that postmodernism could never permit. Instead, a riot of myth and meaning in the fandom noosphere that bootstraps itself from and then forgets the North American provinces. Aside from the provinces is the Hello Kitty ketamine raver, the dispensary cashier in a corn t-shirt, and a TikTok cosplayer dancing in the parking lot. The VTuber with a day job in suburban office park. The Delta Root hyperfixator, the Tumblr alumnus, the state college theater envy, the alt-pro girl autism. Mall goth aesthetics become Walmart defaults. Subcultures converge into the downwardly mobile mass aesthetic. Anime becomes cool, not by assimilating to taste, but by overwhelming it. Queerness leaves the sophistication cradle the urban bohemian elves and conquers the tacky masses of the hinterland middle lower classes. The great severance comes in the form of hobbit parents shrugging at the total queering of their sons and daughters. This is the story of the new pan-Pennsylvanian, pan-Floridian, Pacific Northwest provincial cracker. It's the story of the omni-racial anime white trash of the Texas Triangle, the ambiguously emo Arkansan, and the Nintendo Hispanic and the Black Weeaboo, the internet dreamer forced to awaken in the wasteland of reality. It's the emerging ensoulment of Western Massachusetts, not Boston, Buffalo, not Brooklyn, the Inland Empire, not LA. Queerness by default is no longer for the grad student, but for the townie gamer in the hentai hoodie. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I did something kind of interesting yesterday. I read the Tao Te Ching with my best friend.
Yeah, I listened to the replay. Like you said something and then she said something else. So it was good to listen.
It was, what was really interesting about it is I got a lot of like understanding as well from doing it, because I was reading it very slowly and even one word at a time. So that was really interesting experience. I'd like to try to do that again. I want to get other girls to do it, because I don't want to sit there and read with a guy, because that would be, you know, goy. I mean, Gay. Isn't it interesting how goy and gay are just so similar, so close? Even the O itself is close to an A, a little A. Oh, Miss B is here. B, have you been listening to Bima? That is a poor girl who needs to read.
What happened with Bima?
Nothing. She's just on here going on and on about the Jews and how they stole the Palestinians' land.
It's interesting to hear about, you know, it used to be all like this right-wing anti-Semitism. Now it's like left-wing anti-Semitism that's happening.
Mm-hmm. You hear that from all sides. You know what's funny is Pepe loves to claim he's far right, but actually he's far left. He's not actually. So it's so easy for someone to present as far right, but be far left and not even know it, or know it and just not care to talk about it. Because technically Pepe is extremely liberal. So we have like this admixture of far right components and far left components, which give us a far right, far left, or a far left, far right.
You know, all this low IQ anti-Semitism is making me become a Judeophile.
Yeah, some people become what is it, like English files, or what is it? What is the term?
Do you think Fatima, she's
Anglophile, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Anglophiles.
Anyways, what about Fatima?
Do you think she's lesbian?
I don't think so. Could be. It's, you know, women are just bisexual in general. Like 80% of women are just bisexuals.
When are you building your great harem of women? 72 women that are going to follow you.
I thought that that's what I wanted, but it turns out that that's just too loud. You know, there's no peace. So I'm just starting a Zen monastery instead. Right now I'm listening to Alan Watts, the full library.
I have a room open right now.
That's you?
Works.
That's you? I knew it was you. I was just laughing because I'm like, you came in here, you wanted to read. I'm like, what the fuck? How does he want to read? He's playing Alan Watts right now.
No, it's a good essay about sort of describing how the internet is completely taking over, you know, most of America. You know, like it's being distilled and flowing through all its channels.
Well, what's funny is successful people don't use it publicly. They use it privately. They never ever, you know, they're always on private. They're never public because they don't publish anything which is like social. They just post their private experiences, which doesn't really do anything for anybody other than their, you know, vanity. Reading on the internet is very, very useful and valuable for people. I bought a bunch of Alan Watts books, but when you read Alan Watts versus listening to him lecture, it's just not the same. It's not the same dopamine, but
Yeah, it's the cadence of his voice. He really knows how to be a wordsmith.
yeah, he does. He talked about R.H. Blythe. Have you ever read R.H. Blythe?
I've heard about him, but I've never read anything about him.
Yeah, go on Amazon or eBay or your book search websites, type in R.H. Blythe, read that guy, and you'll be like, wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's a real Wordsworth. He talks about Wordsworth a lot.
Right? He does
Huh?
haikus.
Yeah, he does haikus, does haiku analysis, but it's really just like the first English Zen exploration and author. Apparently, he died young. He was like a prisoner of war, but he lived in Japan, I guess. You know, pre-exposure and pre World War II victory. So, anyways, his books are just like out of this world. I have many of his books, and every time I read it, I'm floored.
Did you see that YouTuber that I sent to you who reads for like 11 hours straight?
The Goblin?
Like that's his. Yeah. It's crazy. It's like it's amazing just to see like he's reading for 11 hours straight from like 6 in the morning until like 10 or 11 in the evening.
That's too much. I found like 2 hours a day is about as much as the human physical body can do. Like 2 hours every 12 hours. That's what I've found. After that, your tongue, things start like falling apart.
It's like 600 people coming into his live streams almost every day.
You know, if he actually looked like a normal person, people would just quickly swipe away. But since he's so hideous and super stimulus,
It's so funny. Like he needs a shower, dude. That cracked me up, man. That was hilarious.
he's hideous.
Hey, what's up, Abby? We were just talking about this other guy who kind of does what John does. He reads for like 11 hours straight. I'll post the link for his YouTube channel so you can check him out.
Abby, why don't you come up here? I want to try to do an experiment with you. If you'll read something quickly, you don't have to read it. You just repeat back to me what I say. I did it with Fatima yesterday. You were there. What'd you think about that? Oh, she's outie. People keep talking about Abby's PTR. Like, have you seen Abby? Have you seen Abby? Let me send you the photo of Abby. I was like, please stop sending me a nightmare. I can't think about Abby's face before I go to sleep every night. It's like waking up in a Chernobyl nightmare. Some mutant freak that had her skin burned off by radiation, and a goblin emerged like one of those horrible creatures.
You gotta think about that.
It's a gremlin. She's a gremlin. Look at her PTR. She's so close with Pepe. You know, Pepe. It's so funny. I've been listening to so much Pepe. I actually had like a moment of terror the other day when Pepe's voice was like echoing through my head, and I was like, "Oh no! Get out of my head!" Ah!
You know, he has like a baby voice the way that he talks. Yeah, that's what I've noticed about him. He speaks like in a very much like a baby voice kind of tone, his cadence, and maybe that's like a way like to hypnotize people, you know, to listen to what he has to say.
See, I think people are trying to figure out, like, is what I'm listening to intelligent? Is this person just a character? Because I think a lot of people view him as just this, like, persona, which is, like, kind of common, you know? If he actually changed his PTR to that frog, it would be more accurate than his, like, spiky hair podcast ultra tan photo. How like I must be a loser if I dislike a loser, you know, because like as somebody who records, see the thing about him is he's so vulgar and other people are so vulgar, it like worries me that
His stories about his time in Catholic school and like Yeah, it's something else.
No, that's not the vulgar I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like the rampant racism and bigotry and hate speech and hate words that he drops so casually. But you know, do you know his dad is or was a federal judge, supposedly? Okay, I'm gonna read something. This is Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching, the Book of Meaning. I'm just gonna start it at the beginning. This is part 1. Tao. The Tao that can be expressed is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Non-existence I call the beginning of heaven and earth. Existence I call the mother of individual beings. Therefore, does the direction towards non-existence lead to the sight of the miraculous essence? The direction towards existence to the sight of spatial limitations, both are one in origin, different only in name. In its unity, it is called the secret. The secret's still deeper secret is the gateway through which all miracles emerge. See, for someone to present as far right, but be far left and not even know it, or know it and just not care to talk about it. I don't know if you're on TikTok, but I've been like putting up an insane amount of TikTok videos. They're just 10-minute live streams from my office. It's kind of funny. It's like live stream is pointless because you can just record yourself for 10-minute intervals endlessly. What's the point of actually like live streaming unless you're interacting with the person watching you? Otherwise, what's the difference? You know it's live. See, it's just like Clubhouses. You know it's live. That's the only differentiator. It's hard to explain that one, but I'm just trying to get across that Clubhouse is actually like an audiobook, and it's unless you're interacting, it's just an audiobook, and you would be, in my opinion, retarded if you were to listen to Clubhouse as like your preferred audiobook. That would be retarded. Okay, this is a little more Tao Te Ching for you. If all on earth acknowledge the beautiful as beautiful, then thereby the ugly is already posited. If all on earth acknowledge the good is good, then thereby is the non-good already posited. For existence and non-existence generate each other. Heavy and light complete each other. Long and short shape each other. High and deep shape each other. Convert each other. Before and after follow each other. Thus also is the man of calling. He dwells in effectiveness without action. He practices teaching without talking. All beings emerge, and he does not refuse himself to them. He generates and yet possesses nothing. He is effective and keeps nothing. When the work is done, he does not dwell with it. And just because he does not dwell, he remains undeserted. By not preferring the competent, one brings about that people do not quarrel. By not treasuring precious things, one brings about that people do not steal. By not displaying desirable things, one brings about that people's hearts are not confused. Therefore, the man of calling governs thus. He empties their hearts and fills their bellies. He weakens their will and strengthens their bones, brings about what the people remain without knowledge and without wishes. And he takes care that those who know dare not act. He does the non-doing, and thus everything falls into its place. Tao is forever flowing, and yet it never overflows in its effectiveness. It is an abyss like the ancestor of all things. It mellows their acuity. It dissolves their confusion. It mitigates their brightness. It unites itself with their dust. It is deep and yet as if real. Do not know whose son it is. It seems to be earlier than God. Heaven and earth are not benevolent. To them, men are like straw dogs destined for sacrifice. The man of calling is not benevolent. Men are like straw dogs destined for sacrifice. The space between heaven and earth is like a flute. Empty, and yet it does not collapse. When moved more and more, emerges from it. Many words exhaust themselves on it. It is better to guard the within. That's what Elon Musk calls cognitive security. I'm serious. Go to Adrian Dittman if you want to see Elon's alt account. He's always talking about cognitive security, which is basically control of his emotions. He hates being emotionally a frictionist. Because he it's all because he thinks there's this thing called cognitive security, which is just a concept. He's funny, but he takes himself so seriously that um, he becomes a joke himself. He's a joke. I think any man that plays video games, I think what I'm doing is technically a video game. I guess my complaint is I think I'm playing the better video game, but people won't recognize my video game. I'm doing like Zen YouTube, essentially. It's kind of, you'd have to dig through a lot of my stuff because I live stream so much garbage. I'm basically a Jerry Springer producer, so, that's what it is. Hillary, welcome to the Philosophy House. How are you, Hillary?
How you doing, my love?
I'm good, my love.
Just wanted to come in and see what we were philosophizing on today.
Well, we're reading the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu.
Oh, cool.
Do you want to read it with me? I'll read, and then you just repeat after me.
I think that might be super annoying to everyone else, so I'll listen to you read.
Are you sure?
I like your
Let's
voice.
try it. No, magic happens when you do it. Takes two to tango.
Ooh, where's my rose? All right, let's go.
Okay, repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
The spirit of the valley never dies.
The spirit of the valley never dies.
It is called the female.
It is called the female.
The gateway
The gateway
of the dark female
of the dark female
is called the root of heaven and earth.
is called the root of heaven and earth.
Uninterrupted,
Uninterrupted,
as though persistent.
as though persistent.
It is effective,
It is effective
without effort.
without effort.
Heaven is eternal,
Heaven is eternal
and earth lasting.
and earth lasting.
They are lasting
They are lasting
and eternal,
and eternal
because they do not live for themselves.
because they do not live for themselves.
Therefore can they live forever.
Therefore, can they live forever? I feel like we should put a game to it, like a certain name an accent or name a character.
Thus also is the man of calling.
Thus also is the man of calling.
He disregards himself,
He disregards himself,
and his self is increased.
and his self is increased.
He gives himself away,
He gives himself away,
and his self is preserved.
and his self is preserved.
Is it not thus?
Is it not thus?
Because he desires nothing as his own?
Because he desires something with a bell ringing.
His own is completed.
His own is completed.
The highest benevolence
The highest benevolence
is like water.
is like
The benevolence of water
the benevolence of water
is to benefit all beings without strife.
is to benefit all beings without strife.
It dwells in places which man despises.
It dwells in places which man despises.
Therefore,
Therefore,
it stands close to Tao.
it stands close to Tao.
Indwelling benevolence shows itself in place.
Indwelling benevolence shows itself in place.
In thinking, benevolence shows itself in depth.
In thinking, benevolence shows itself in depth.
In giving, benevolence shows itself in love.
In giving, benevolence shows itself in love.
In speech, benevolence shows itself in truth.
In speech, benevolence shows itself in truth.
In ruling, benevolence shows itself in order.
In benevolence shows itself in order.
In working, benevolence shows itself in competence.
In working, benevolence shows itself in competence.
In movement, benevolence shows itself in timing.
In movement, benevolence shows itself in timing.
He who does not assert himself thereby remains free of blame.
He who does not assert himself, therefore, remains free of blame.
To hold on to something,
To hold on to something,
and thereby make it overflow.
and thereby make it overflow.
This is not worthwhile.
This is not worthwhile.
To make use of something and still keep it sharp.
To make use of something and still keep it sharp.
This cannot be sustained for long.
This cannot be sustained for long.
A palace full of gold and diamonds.
A palace full of gold and diamonds.
Nobody can perfect.
Nobody can perfect.
Nobody can protect.
Nobody can protect.
To be rich and tight and arrogant into the bargain.
To be rich and
This in itself attracts misfortune.
this in itself attracts misfortune.
When the work is done, it is time to withdraw.
When the work is done, it is time to withdraw.
This is the Tao of heaven.
This is the Tao of heaven.
Can you educate your soul so that it encompasses the one without dispersing itself?
Can you? I'm also. I was looking at Nick's thing with other friends. Can you educate your soul so that? I repeat the last word. I'm sorry.
Can you educate your soul
Can you educate your soul
so that it encompasses the one
so that it encompasses the one
without dispersing itself?
without dispersing itself?
Can you make your strength unitary
Can you make your strength unitary
and achieve that softness
and achieve that softness
that makes you like a little child?
that makes you like a little child?
Can you cleanse your secret seeing
And your secret seeing
so that it becomes free of stain?
so that it becomes free of stain?
Can you love men and rule the state
Can you love men and rule the state
so that you remain without knowledge?
so that you remain without knowledge?
Can you, when the gates of heaven open and close,
Can you, when the gates of heaven
be like the
open
female,
and close,
bird?
be like the female bird?
Can you penetrate everything
Can you penetrate everything
with your inner clarity and purity
with your inner clarity and purity
without having need for action?
without having need for action,
Generating
generating
and nourishing.
and nourishing,
Generating
generating
and not possessing.
and not possessing,
Being effective
being effective
and not retaining.
and not retaining,
Increasing
increasing
and not dominating.
and not dominating.
This is the secret life.
This is the secret life.
30 spokes around the hub.
30 spokes around the hub.
In the nothingness
Into the nothingness
consists the carriage's effectiveness.
consists the carriage's effectiveness. And Nick, I don't know.
One hollows the clay
One hollows the clay
and shapes it into pots.
and shapes it into pots.
It is nothingness.
It is nothingness.
Consists the pot's effectiveness.
Consists the pot's effectiveness.
One cuts out doors and windows
One cuts out doors and windows
to make a clubhouse room.
to make a clubhouse room.
In their nothingness
In the nothingness
consists the clubhouse room's effectiveness.
Consists the clubhouse room's effectiveness.
Therefore,
What exists
serves for possession.
serves for possession.
What does not exist
What does not exist
serves for effectiveness.
serves for effectiveness.
The five
Dun,
colors.
dun, dun.
The five colors.
The 5 colors.
Blind men's eyes.
Blind men's eyes.
The 5 tones.
The 5 tones.
Deafen men's ears.
Deafen men's ears.
The 5 flavors.
The 5 flavors.
Spoil men's palates.
Boil men's palates.
Running and chasing.
Running and chasing.
Make men's hearts mad.
Make men's hearts mad.
Rare goods.
Rare goods.
Confuse men's ways.
Confuse men's ways.
Therefore,
Therefore,
the man and woman of clubhouse
the man and woman of clubhouse
works for the body's needs,
works for the body's needs.
not for the eyes.
Not for the eyes.
He removes the other
He removes the other
and takes this.
and takes this.
Grace
Grace
is as shameful as fright.
is as shameful as fright.
Honor
Honor
is a great evil,
is a great evil.
like the persona.
Like the persona.
What does this mean?
What does this mean?
Grace is shameful as a fright.
Grace is as shameful as a fright.
Grace is something inferior.
Grace is something inferior.
One attains it,
One obtains it.
and one is as if frightened.
If one is as frightened.
This is what is meant by
This is what is meant by
grace is as shameful as fright.
grace is as shameful as fright.
What does this mean?
All right, I'm gonna have to hand it over to you. That's about as much as I can do right now.
Okay,
But I enjoy and love you, and this was fun. And I'm gonna go back and listen to it.
great
And
work.
figure out what the hell I just said.
All right, so I would encourage you to just take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds.
You're gonna enjoy it right now, aren't you?
Great work, Hillary. You went a long time, but there was a moment where I was going to stop, but then I was like, yeah, we'll find out how long she can go.
Well, so I wanted to ask you real quick. We've got a new podcast launching on the 1st, and I have some openings towards the 22nd of April. Is that going to be too late for you to come on to talk about your campaign?
No, 22nd April is fine. Because
Perfect.
the election is February next year, 27.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, then I can have you on a few more times then. Awesome. Is there anybody in Chicago that because we're having 3 guests doing just kind of a roundtable discussion about just shit. But so is there anybody in Chicago that you would be interested in seeing if I can get on the show with you?
Maybe my
You
friend
mentioned Jerry
Max.
Springer earlier. Huh?
My friend Max probably would join us.
I think like celebrities or other politicians.
Yeah, this guy's a former.
My producer's got like really good connections.
This guy's a. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. Anybody, any celebrity in Chicago would be cool. I mean, I just can't think of
I
one
did
off
my
the top of my
internship
head.
at the Jenny Jones show there in Chicago.
Jenny Jones.
We were right across the hall from Jerry Springer.
I saw a clip of a Jerry Springer episode the other day, and it was like 3 white kids, and this redheaded white girl was like, "We hate N-words and we want them out of our community." Something like that. I was like, what the fuck? And it was titled the most controversial Jerry Springer episode of all time. So I would love to see that full episode.
Part of my job was to send faxes, to strip clubs, saying, do you have any family trauma or not trauma, we use that word right there, but do you have any family drama or, anything that would make a good story, any kind of abusive situations that I mean, it was really, really crass, but we sent it by fax to every strip club in America. And we asked them to put it up in their dressing rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And the calls that we would get from that were, and my job was basically, no matter what your story was, you could have no story. My job was to inflate whatever little grain of sand you gave me and to make it into, fit it into whatever category. And all you got in return for ruining your life on our show was a free trip to Chicago. We didn't even get you a good hotel. You stayed at the Days Inn.
Damn.
But we did take you to dinner.
Oh, well, just one dinner?
Yeah, one dinner, and it wasn't even good food. We took you to Outback or some shit, and then we would bring you to where I used to work nights over at Excalibur. So we would bring you over to Excalibur and give you like a $20 drink, stipend, and hope that you were too hungover for the show the next day.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool though. I mean, the thing is that at least you got that little clip, because the thing is some of those people are probably trolls, they know that they're being exploited, but they're just like,
oh, most of them. That's why I said all we needed was a grain of sand, just a little tiny grain of sand, and then we would basically tell you who you were. There are so many episodes that I was on, where with because I have one of those faces that I look like somebody so I can blend and morph a lot. And if you look at go through my Instagram, look at my pictures, it looks like a different person almost every time, because I have that look. And so they put me, I was a stripper, I was a geek to chic. They would always, stick as interns in different slots in there just to hype up the crowd. So we were usually the first act was real. The second act was usually, at a hired actor or a local or an intern. And then the closing act was always real. But we really inflated their stories. We bucked their heads up a lot. God, it was evil work.
Yeah, but
for that free trip to Chicago.
It's just such an interesting I guess if you were to compare the internet to television from the 80s and 90s, the television really was our internet at the time. It was our collective consciousness put into art. Everyone was participating, but there was no feedback or cross communication. So the internet is really interesting. I think we've perfected mind control, because technically television is a mind control technology, and that one way mind control is now completely turned upside down. So people are now eating the roots, they're not eating the leaves. And I don't know, it's 2026. I would say by 2030 things start rapidly changing for, maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. It just depends on your position.
You're right. Look at how much of our personalities was sculpted and molded by the shows that we watch. If you talk to anybody from Gen X, you can say little quips and phrases that will trigger instant nostalgia. Be like, oh wow, I like this person, I get this person. They both think, they also think that Smalls is killing me. I mean, so much of who we are was sculpted out and perfected by, news media, pop culture, things like that. Not news media, but Nickelodeon and Disney and whatnot. And the way that they're able to control to this day who we are by things that we watched back then is mind-boggling.
Well, I don't know if they control who we are. It's just your total some conditioning. I mean, I watched so much television my whole life. I mean, Power Rangers, Nickelodeon, Scrooge, McDuck, DuckTales, like.
That is, look, hold on, go into any club, anywhere, I don't care if you're in a library, and go, DuckTales.
Ooh.
See, boom, every Gen Xer there. You can pick out your own this way. You'll know who's cool in the room by who answers with ooh, because it's almost like the shave and a haircut. Like our generation cannot not say ooh.
That's an interesting experiment. Walk into a room and just say DuckTales and see if you get a woo woo. That's funny.
Although, I mean, so many of our fears even were sculpted from what we watched as kids. What we were told is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any abnormal fears? Anything that's just like you shouldn't be afraid of as an adult, but you still kind of are?
If I go into the basement and all the lights are turned off, I start like my first thought is, oh my God, what if there's like a monster or a ghost or a spirit, or what if there's somebody down there, like the terror. Like
Chicago, something actually could be down there.
what if I encounter something, like how will I respond? Will it be complete and utter terror? Because I'm sure it would have to be.
I guess it depends on what you consider a monster. I mean, a spirit or a ghost or something like that, you're probably dealing with that all day, every day down there anyway. You just don't realize it. But depends on how you feel monster or a monster.
I mean, I would imagine like some type of apparition, some type of like, spirit or something like that is trapped in the property. But it's all just, hocus pocus. It's all just like I'm trying to, in a way, it's probably my cognitive security saying, anticipate something potentially. What will you do? Will you fight or will you flight? And me, I would flight. That's what I would do. I would maybe strike, but then flight. I wouldn't stick around for a prolonged battle, if you know what I mean.
I've learned the hard way that as tough as I am, my reaction is usually to scream really loud first, then swing. Like, I don't know why. If my son will come scare me, like, hey, like right up behind me, and he's like a little fucking ninja, man. And I screamed every time, and I don't know when I started being a little pussy, but that's what I do now. If you jump scare me, I will scream.
I did that to my mom when I was a kid, and she slugged me in the stomach, and I was like, oh, I'm never doing it.
You had it coming. So I just dropped my album is dropping tomorrow, by the way. I'm decided to be very, very petty. For the last 6 months, every time my husband started a stupid fight, like a really dumb fight I didn't have time for, I let him think he was winning and took notes and a song, and then I went and I mastered it and whatnot, and so I have an album that is all just based on stupid ass fights we had and the retorts I wanted to give at that time. So it's coming out for April Fool's Day, and it's my very long game, petty clapback for him, and it's fucking hilarious. I can't wait for you to hear it.
Nice. Have you used DistroKid?
That is who I use, yeah.
Yeah, I've been uploading there. It takes so long to fucking upload one song. It's like I can only do like one a day, then I give up.
Really?
But I've got a couple on there now, and it's pretty cool because in Instagram, when I post a picture and I want to look up the John Kitover band, like now my pictures have John Kitover music attached to it, which is pretty dope.
Have you selected the media pack, the social networking media pack with it?
No, I don't.
So you're getting paid every time?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I don't do that because you have to pay for that, right?
Yeah, but it's only $4.99. You only pay for it once, and then you get paid indefinitely from it. So I don't do like the legacy pack or any of the remastering and all that. But for any song worth me going to the studio and laying it down, I buy the media pack because that way anyone on TikTok that uses my video, I get paid. Not my video too. Anyone that uses my music as on their video, I get paid, and I like to get paid. What's the point of paying DistroKid if you're not, getting your return on it?
Interesting. I'll try that. It's a good idea, like to just try to like put out more content. with John Kitover music just to try to make money through music, which I think is very challenging. I mean, I know.
Well, now, here's what you need to do. So you've got an extra $40, or actually not even that, probably like $29. Go to Backstage. Now this is the secret sauce I'm giving you here. Go to Backstage, and you're gonna sign up as a casting director, not as an actor. Sign up as a casting director, and then you're gonna put out an ad that says, "I am looking for people to make videos using this song." And just whoever put aside $100. $100 for whoever has the most likes, shares, and views on their video using this wins this prize. And then now you've got millions and millions of hopeful actors out there who are using your content. Whether or not they use it and it's the most wonderful thing in the world, or whether they use it and nobody looks at it at all, you're only out $100 or $120, and you're bracketing the money, because not only does every time they use it you get paid, but also when people share it from their thing, when other people use it because of that, plus all of the exposure you're getting there, boom, and it costs you almost nothing. And that's something that people like. I don't know. Nobody's tapped into the free services of something like that. And all you got to do is just pay the top person who gets the most views, and there you go.
I didn't know this, but because you mentioned Backpage, I looked it up, and the FBI has a
Backstage. Big difference. Backstage.
Well, I looked up Backpage, and there's a Backpage victim compensation fund, and you can apply to it, and you have to document all your losses. But the FBI will compensate you. Well, I was sex trafficked. I don't know if you know about that, but that's actually how I became retarded.
Did not know anything about that.
Yep.
I do a lot of volunteer work in Houston. That's why I'm living in Houston, actually. And I work with the Red Thread movement and a few other places over here, Reform House, places that help get girls out of those situations and help them to either get home or to stay legally in the country.
Maybe we should create like a room about Jay Breska and the FBI compensation fund. I think that would be a great room.
Who is Jay Breska? I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's a former human sex trafficker, rapist, federal criminal on this app who used to hold big rooms in Debate the News.
Wait, Jay? You said his name was what?
Jay Breska. And he was also a top campaign contributor to my campaign for Congress.
That's not Ketchikan, huh?
It's Ketchikan, yeah.
Okay.
My name is Jay Breska. I'm the founder of Ketchikan. Let's catch a con. I'm a con. It takes a con to catch a con.
Yeah, but I think he's come full circle from where he was. Not full circle, because that would mean he started back over where he was. But no, I don't know. I know the guy, and I like him, and I think that he's gone through a lot. He did what he did when he did it, and he's learned from what happened. And I mean, I personally believe that if you, because I was a criminal, I was a drug addict, I was a drug dealer, and I have got 17 years clean and sober now, and I wouldn't recognize myself. If I walked into a room and met myself from 1999, I would not know who the hell that person was. It's unrecognizable how far I've come from that point. So I think everyone deserves the opportunity to change, but if they don't, then fucking burn them at the stake.
Well, there is a March 31st deadline on all victims of sex trafficking as a result of the website Backpage. So this is the Jade Breska Backpage Compensation Fund, FBI Police Room. Click the link above if you were sex trafficked by Jay Breska and you want compensation now. Click. Oh my God, thank you for posting this. I had no idea I could be compensated for being a prostitute and being a victim of a pimp.
Especially if you took an Uber.
When do you think the government will issue? Well, see, the government already has a vaccine victim compensation fund.
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but it's actually a federal.
No, I did not.
It's a federal program because COVID-19 is not the first vaccine that has caused massive problems, and so there are many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that have been compensated from vax injury. Not just the COVID-19 vax, but other vaxes which have caused significant injuries. And I looked this up like a year or 2 years ago. It's already out there. The government has that program. So.
Okay, so I did not get vaccinated. I did die though. I spent 2 weeks in the hospital and died. And it happened live on Clubhouse. No, they were actually I live streamed so much of my stuff when I was in the hospital here on Clubhouse. But to this day, I have not gotten my medical records. I've not also gotten a bill. I was there for 2 weeks, and I still haven't received a bill, and they will not tell me what they gave me while I was in there. A lot of weird ass shit happened when I got home from the hospital. I was on a compressor for 6 weeks after that. I mean, it was a nightmare. It was honest to God nightmare, and they will not tell me what they gave me when I was in the hospital. And I have tried to get those records continuously since then, but they haven't billed me, so I don't know. But one thing I want to deep dive on, and I would love your thoughts and opinions on it, is the troubled teen industry and the pop-up hospitals. Do you remember, if you don't get help in Cyprus, all right, if you don't get help with Charter, please get help somewhere. Those commercials.
What up, Augustus? Augustus is in a different room. Welcome, Augustus.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing. I'm just chilling here. I was reading a book. What are you doing?
I was just working on a painting, and now I'm just chilling with my son.
Augustus Jr., the future Emperor of Rome.
That's right.
What's the painting about?
It's just like a Pokemon fan art kind of thing. I'm trading for to my brother for some cards.
Oh, cool. Dude, you should do like 3 Pokemon paintings, put them up on eBay. But do the painting of like your top cards and include it with the card in the sale as like a token or a one-off by Palante Art Incorporated.
Yeah, I'm doing something like that. Like, I've got 6 canvases I'm gonna paint, and I'm gonna take them with me to a card show and see if anybody just wants to trade in person or buy in person or whatever at the card show.
I had no idea Augustus was into that. That's cool.
Yeah, who could hear me?
Hillary.
That's Hillary. Yeah, I've got like shoeboxes full of Pokemon cards from like the early 2000s. Even the foil ones from straight from Japan. So got a shit ton of them. I have no idea what they're worth. If they're worth anything, a bunch of them are even unopened packs. I don't know anybody else that like.
She's in a philosophy house. If you want to chat with her in there, you can DM her and she can. Or if you want to text me, Hillary, I can text Augustus, and you two can coordinate.
Hey, he has my number. I think he's got my impression.
Oh, well, then just text him.
I don't think she's got my number, but I'm not trying to text. I just was wondering, like, how she could hear me.
Yeah, because I got like 5 clubhouse rooms open right now on my desk.
Oh, okay.
He's lying. I'm sitting on the couch at his house right now.
Meow. You're a married woman. You're a married woman, Hillary. I wouldn't dare commit adultery.
Friends. Doesn't have to be a sexual thing. Just hanging out at a friend's house.
Who do you think I am? Roger Stone, the world's greatest swinger of all time after Steve Bannon?
I miss Roger.
Is that a baby? Oh, you gotta hear. You want to hear my Babyface song from Suno? It is amazing.
Yes, I do.
I'll create a new one. But if you just use the term babyface as a simple description, Romero. Okay, give me some other keyword prompts associated to a baby. Baby face, baby formula,
Crying,
beautiful crying,
dependent.
loving.
Um,
We're trying to make the song super hypnotic with no negatives.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Innocence, purity, wonder, hope.
Okay,
Potential.
let's do soul, beat, and disco.
No. Look, I'm gonna change your world. Put in rock opera.
It's too late. This groove is on its way. Babyface, here it comes, baby. You said rock opera though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is really good, isn't it? Okay, this is our song Babyface Boogie.
Tiny toes, tiny side, milk on your chin, dream in your eyes. Midnight yawns
Okay, welcome back to our meditation this morning. We are meditating on peace, praying for love, praying for justice, praying for the light, praying for charity, because charity is the secret name of the God. Not many people know that. It's very hard to figure that one out, but
Also, my favorite day shift stripper.
I love it. Charity. Do you think I could be a successful trans stripper?
No, but MILFs would love you.
Wow.
You could totally do one of the guy, dad bod type things. You do yoga, you work out and shit, you look good. Go swing that shit, man. I think everyone should get on that stage at least once.
Is there a female? Is there a strip club just for females, just for women?
Oh yeah.
Well, like Chippendales?
There's the Bears here. I don't know what they're. No, I mean I'm sure in Boys Town there's plenty in Chicago. I don't know if it's just for women, but I know there's some in Chicago.
Let me Google it. I've never Googled this. Let's find out what it is. Okay. Strip club for women, Chicago. Rick's Cabaret.
Rick's, no, I have stock in Rick's. Rick's is that's a top tier, girls are dancing there. That's the very first strip club I ever bought stock in. Dennis in the audience says that in his younger days, he stripped.
Scores.
Police
Bad Boys Live Mail Review. What the fuck? On Ontario, opens 7 p.m. Saturday.
Okay, now Ontario, you're gonna make some money if you can cross that little border right there. Even if you go up to where is it? Shit, I can't think of it. Sort of the T, big Toronto. Sorry, Toronto has some clubs. Those girls there make $3,000 a night easy and don't barely have to do anything. Toronto is like a mecca for strippers.
Dude, this is so funny. People are leaving reviews and they said it sucked.
Well, yeah, but that costs extra.
Oh my god, there's another strip club called Polecats. Never even heard of that one.
That's a girls' club. It's a national chain.
Damn, Ultimate Ladies Night male strip show. So there's like all these like little secret male strip shows.
Yeah.
Lucky Horseshoe Lounge. Jesus. That's the one I thought it was. Dancers are
So now I gotta ask
sexy.
you, if you got a chance to, have you heard my political rally song?
No, you want to play it?
Sure. Because I had it on YouTube and I've been promoting it. Let's see what you think. Wait, let me put it on music here.
So basically, if you're a woman and you want to see a male strip club, you got to go to a gay bar. That's what it is. I didn't realize that because,
It's just a lot of fun to go and I'll go in for once in a way that doesn't make them go, hey, baby, I'm going home with you. And those guys get downright dirty. They'll get off the stage, grind their sweaty, nasty ass all over you. It's like, stop, don't touch me, please, you're sticky. Ew. But, yeah, from a distance, it's fun.
Here is one I was having real bad. So I just have to Google my team to get a picture of the problem. And
All right, here we go.
I am American, I represent American. We have a voice, but maybe you haven't heard it. So I'll say it louder. I'ma put it in a song. Do we got questions? We wanna know what you're building. We wanna know what's going on. We wanna know what happened during COVID. How come the non-vaccinated, the only ones feeling strong? Why did you tear down the White House? There ain't no ballroom. What you think we're dumb? All those tech giants that paint the way you think they care about a ballroom. How about a war room? How about a fallout? People bunker it. Oh, I see. Not for the average American. Oh man, we trust you. When they be trying to do what's success, you can where the money go. I have a right to know. We are the American people. We are the American people. We foot the bill and the payment's too high. How many more gonna have to die? Our neighbors been kicked out. Our schools have been shot up. Companies are closed down. Homeless debts are going up. Tesco's are going down. I can't stand this roller coaster. With stuff going round. So what you know, Mr. Fat where's my money? Where's the money? Protect the few and throw the rest of the back. And I'll keep you the pack. Did the child on that? Did you, Mr. Fat Cat? Can't shut us all down. Can't hold us all back. Gonna never put us to cover that story. You can't call it coward. Do it for the glory. That was sweet as a it was never for the red, white, and blue. You need to know. The world wants to know where's the money. Thoughts, opinions?
Yeah, it was good, very good.
Well, thank you. So I am 2 minutes late to the Zoom meeting now. I gotta run, but I'll get my my producer to contact you, to text you later on with the details for the show.
Okay, sounds good.
Demonstrators are
Okay, bye.
Love and our faith in God. The liberty we treasure, the community we share, the laws we respect, and the peace we pray to keep.
That was a Sora video.
demonstrators are anti-Islam, even though they hate the IRGC themselves because they're Shia, and these guys are Sunni. But they will always favor Islam, and only then they will care about Shia or Sunni, and then be non-Muslim. Demonstrators.
This guy from India yesterday was talking about how when the Pakistani soldiers capture an Indian, they cut his balls off and shove them in his mouth. But in India, they give them like a proper burial, put them in, a nice coffin, give the body back. But the Muslim warriors have a way.
The pieces on this side of the table represent forces under my command. And these are your men, for example, Olaf. Oh, I see. Your job during the battle is to attack from here up to there.
Officer.
Continuous pretty much in this area. So, Olaf, from here up to there. So, Olaf, from here. My thinking is to know away every ounce of your blubber. Out! Out! Not you, love, and not your plumpy right-hand man. The pieces on this side of the table.
There's like this Viking comedy show.
The pieces on this side of the table.
It's very funny. Because if you think everything is hypnosis and every single clip you watch on YouTube, etc., like your content choice. See, people think hypnosis is like a control, but that's not what hypnosis is. Hypnosis is just content. It's not necessarily a control. It's just it's your preference, basically. And there's just so much funny stuff that people create to hypnotize you to watch it because it's high quality content. And the YouTube algorithm is so smart at delivering a visual to you that knows you'll want to click on it at a much higher level versus targeted content based on former watch history. This is a Zen wooden bell or a mallet, basically. But you can use it for timing. So if you want to take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds, you can do that. Now, some people will say, how do you have so much money and time to sit there and hit a Japanese wooden Zen bell and not be out in the world earning a living sitting in a cubicle in a workstation in a skyscraper? How do you have that time? Well, it's funny that you should ask. Because as I am running for the mayor of Chicago, Rabboni Shalom, Hashem and Shemayim is letting the good times flow, the joy. People say, how do you afford all this? They say, I have plenty of joy in my bank account. I have a reservoir of joy, and it's always manifesting through my persona and my YouTube revenue stream. I've built a library, a perpetual catalog of John Kitover videos. And because everyone is always wondering what John Kitover is doing, of course, people always watch my YouTube account. And the more videos you have out there, the more times people will say, you know what? I'm thinking about John Kitover for some reason. I should go check out his YouTube channel. See what he's doing. What's John Kitover doing? Listen, everything is comparative. If you're listening to this video and watching it and enjoying it, well, congratulations. I have successfully gotten you to watch me. But does that mean I psyoped you? No. Does that mean I hypnotized you? No. You simply came here of your own free will for whatever reason there could possibly be for you to watch this video right now. It's your choice. You know, I want to say hello, but really, truthfully, these clips that I'm making here for YouTube are just for joy, just for fun. It's not for an income, per se. I'd now like to play a little flute song dedicated to my friend Zen, to Alan Watts and R.H. Blythe. Some people would say, John, how could you have so much time to sit there and play a flute in the middle of a work hour on a Monday in a sunny Chicago at 70 degrees? How could you have the time? And you know what I like to say? That people would say, you should be out in the streets playing your flute at the train stop, politicking for the mayor of Chicago, making money, raising donations, and getting voters to sign your petition. But I would just say that before I actually take this show on the road, and we start campaigning in the streets to raise donations and get signatures on our petitions for the February 23rd, 2027 Chicago mayoral race, I think it's important that we put these videos out there on the internet so people all around the world can see the birth of a movement. The funniest thing is, I don't know if you saw this, Zen, but Cesar Chavez, the founder of the Grape Pickers Union, it turns out that pedophile was molesting young girls on his Mountain Union spiritual retreats. And they say that he would demand people see his aura. And he was demanding that everyone do this crazy mind control thing where they all abuse one person. You should see it, Chris. Did you see this article? I got to text it to you. Let me just pin it. Are you even in the room anymore? Let me confirm. Hello? Okay, I think you're still here. Let me see if I can get you the link. It's on Drudge Report. Probably did not want this article to be seen. But also the IRS is now using Palantir to make smarter auditing decisions, which is interesting. I'll post that link as well. But you got to check out the Cesar Chavez article, which condemns him and makes him into like a mental health psychopath because he was raping young girls. People in his union members. Chavez union scandal. Civil rights leader accused of sexual abuse. Yep. Sexual abuse of minors. But the article, which is so crazy because it's all about the mind. Cesar Chavez mind control. Dude, you got to read this article that came out. We need to do like podcasts just about Cesar Chavez because like even when I was a kid, they indoctrinated me into the Cesar Chavez cult. He fought the white racists. And meanwhile, he was the extremist, mind controller, sex abuser. And you got to read about it, like what he was doing with people. There's photographs of his office. He had a huge library, which kind of scarily looks like my library. I think anybody with a big library and a big house. But now that we have the internet and we have this open communication channel, we can roast everybody and everything of all time because nearly every single prophet or every single guru leader is worthy of being severely roasted. I don't know if you know who Osho is, but the Osho, oh boy, we can roast this motherfucker. I don't know if you've seen the documentary about Osho, but I recently saw a video of him with like a diamond out watch. Dude, there's just a lot of roasting that needs to happen with the gurus. But it's no different than P. Diddy or Jay-Z or Beyonce. These are people that have avoided criticism, but we know Jay-Z is in the Diddy files. So I say if they've released the Epstein files, they need to release the Diddy files. That's what I think. We can clip it. Vote John Kitover for next Chicago mayor. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com right now. Or ChicagoMayoral.com. Or ChicagoMayorElection.com. Or JohnKitoverChicago.com. Those are all the domain names we have for the campaign at the moment. We're sharing videos on there. And so we've created a whole new batch of AI videos to communicate with the voters here in Chicago about the ever-rising property taxes, the water tax, the garbage tax, the sewer tax, the city vehicle sticker tax, the bag tax, gas tax, the tax. There's a lot more taxes. This is ChicagoMayorVote.com right now. All right, Rabboni Shalom. Want to thank everybody for coming here to my morning podcast. It is so beautiful outside. We are so excited to go outside and go exercise, to go for a run. Alan Watts makes fun of runners. He says all that clinking and clanking and jarring. He's like, if you run, you should run for the joy of running. And so yes, I was running. I was really trying to, I wasn't focused on how far I could run or how fast I could run, but how much joy I could experience as I was galloping and leaping like a horse. Am I a centaur or am I a man? Am I a butterfly dreaming of being a man? Or am I a man dreaming of being a butterfly and becoming a chrysalis? And in a chrysalis becoming trans and forming into a new man or a new woman. Whoa, man! So, I'm trying to get into the mind of a trans man or a trans woman. And when I think about being gender fluid, it's like thinking about water and Great Tao. You know, people criticize the Tao Te Ching. They say it's responsible for 60 million people being killed in China. But I like to say that every great book is just waiting to be reevaluated and juxtaposed to the time in which the reader reads it. Because when you read Tao Te Ching, it is truly presented and framed by the author as a source book of magic, or what he calls miracles. So basically that book, if you read it, which is really interesting, because I often think, if I were to teach a course on ethics, morals, and virtues, how would I lead the students in the coursework? And so what's interesting is, if you have no character, if you have no persona, if you have no virtue, morals, ethics, if you're a terrible person, well, I can't think of any other greater way on how to transform yourself into the opposite of who you are than reading that great book, or Marcus Aurelius or any other great book, because really, if you just read the book out loud and put it on YouTube, you have demonstrated, basically you have now conditioned or projected the opposite of what's out there in a way. But because you read it, there's a good chance that you'll actually comprehend it. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you have now, over 2 days, watched me read Tao Te Ching with two women here on this app, word for word. And I gotta say, I think for the people that I do the reading with, because they don't actually really read, and they've probably never read this book, nor will they ever read this book, that exercise alone focuses their mind on a very chaotic app. And this app is basically like a blender for the brain. But if you do one word at a time from a book with somebody, you can confirm that that person is in a way experiencing the same book as you. And what's interesting is I read it with an inflection. They read it back to me with their inflection, but sometimes they're almost like questioning me and projecting double entendres onto me with the way they say it. So it is a very interesting experience. Rex, welcome to Philosophy House. This is mayoral candidate John Kitover. How are you, Rex? Rabboni Shalom. So, just in closing, I really like reading the Tao Te Ching with people like that. I've found that to be a very fun thing because, in a way, I'm like mind syncing with them. meaning that now I know this person because we have read a book together. Now, I often get that person, Hillary, confused with somebody else, Sullivana Bokenkamp or something on my YouTube channel, who leaves me huge messages on my YouTube live streams. And they are the craziest shit I've ever read. Like, Tony's going to the grocery store and they didn't have any OJ, so instead he got cookies. Then my son Tommy got upset and got a wart on his foot. He ate a frog and slipped and went down a water slide. I'm like, what is all this fucking schizo fucking bullshit you're writing in my YouTube channel? I think I'm gonna, but sometimes I read it because I'm like, who the fuck would, this isn't a bot. So this is a real human being sending me all kinds of weird messages. Weird. And I kind of, told that person, they wrote on the YouTube, like, Lord save me, rebuke John Kitover. May I never come back to his fucking YouTube channel again because, why do I keep coming back and watching John Kitover? That to me was like really funny. So I said, just stop watching my YouTube channel because that's the whole thing about Zen is when you get the message, you can hang up the phone. You don't need to re-engage, to pick up the phone again. But to me, I think I'm creating product. I think I'm creating content and art. So if I can just justify what I do by calling it art, and we can call you the critic on the other end of the phone. But if you compliment my art, well, even if you lie to me, just lie to me. Why not? Like I lie to people all the time about their art. You just heard Hillary's song about something. I mean, I listened to it, but I said it was great just because what's the point of telling somebody it sucked? And it didn't really suck. But let's be honest, if we got Hillary on Suno, I bet you she could make some amazing AI music, because it's her music. She created it, but, she did it with the assist of AI. And you know what? The AI music is 100% going to be better than her music. And so we have to get her to trans, which just means try. Try. That's what I say. People are often confused with Trinity. And I just say try. Basically, Sam I Am. And we read Sam I Am. To me, that is really funny, is when you scream who ate green eggs and ham at somebody on this app because they don't want to give you the time to read a book. And so you just start screaming green eggs and ham at them. That to me is like, they don't get the joke in that. That to me is, I think, probably one of the funniest things you could do on this app. And it probably works in other settings, obviously. Like, imagine bringing green eggs and ham with you to, like, some speech that the president was giving. And you just started screaming green eggs and ham. Try it. Give peace a try. Give peace a try. It would cause a new mind virus throughout the national consciousness. You see what I'm saying? That's why they have to be very careful about what gets out in terms of like a troll. See, a troll.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's there like 100 more, 100 less. I don't know.
See what I'm saying, Chris? That would be like a good mind virus viral video, like we need to launch a national viral troll video that gets out. Somebody got roasted, somebody got trolled.
The universities, there are religion universities where these mullahs are living and trained there. And this is how you win. When they're
okay, hold on. So let me ask you a question, Bus. So you're saying attack the religion, and that's how you'll win?
Yeah, because
I just want to be clear.
These guys are just like.
So we're back at the same stage where this is a religious problem.
They are like the priests in the Middle Ages. Do you understand? In Europe.
Listen, I'm not arguing with you. I just want to make sure that everybody in the audience also listens.
They've got the money. They've got control of the power. So in order to win, you have to take these priests or these mullahs. I mean, mullah is the Arabic word for these priests, these Muslims there. You have to take them out because they have separated Iran into many parts and many small cities, like counts and lords in the medieval time, and they are reigning and controlling these parts. If they're gone, the people are going to be free to come out and fight them. And you must use drones a lot because these posts that they are checking the people on the streets, there are a bunch of 5 to 10 people there, and they have got hundreds and thousands of them all over the country. And these are exactly the people or the terrorists that come out and kill people. The main problem in Iran is not the missiles or the airplanes or the fighter jets or the oil refineries. The problem are these terrorists with their guns. They are the obstacle between Iran being free and not free. And that's where you should concentrate and focus, which you're not. Trump is just focused.
You gotta focus where you're killing my enemies. Could you please focus a little bit?
They finesse us. They will us in. Oh, hey, VR, I love you. Thank
Just gonna give you some samples here. This is hallway. This is probably a great way to do a show. Is just clubhouse hallway samples.
Never seen no damn Nicaraguans, Venezuelans. Never seen no south of the border activity. Now you have to deal with situation.
So I can easily demonstrate when you go into
10 seconds
dogma,
each room.
The Catholic dogma,
Name that room.
World War II. What's it called? Ready or not, here I come.
Ready or not, here I come.
Ready or not, here I come.
Bitch, get the fuck out the way, bitch. Starstream strikes again.
I wake up in the middle of the night, like, no.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah, you know?
Name that room.
On your cut.
How the hell did all y'all get beams?
Name that room.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Corey, let me explain what is.
She couldn't understand that.
Okay, so let me explain, Corey, why.
Name that room.
Bothers me, like not being a wife and not finding someone who is safe for the children or.
Name that room.
A PDF or something from like on my what is that? The PDF thing, the archives or something.
Name that room.
Okay.
They live off that. They have no other alternatives.
But that. Remember, you had answered. I bypassed that because that wasn't relevant to my question. My question to you was
relevant to your question. Yeah, but the hypothetical.
That's why I bypassed it.
No, if these Palestinian children were a different species, and if the Israelis wanted to eat them, you're saying?
Yeah, basically, if they look just like the regular Palestinian children you see on TikTok or on social media, but we find like they're not the same species as us, would it be okay to eat them? Genocide them?
Probably not. No. Probably not. But that's because they are the Palestinian children.
No. Let's say hypothetically.
The time will change like overnight.
In this hypothetical world, for whatever reason, like they're not the same species. Like they were birthed. I mean, we can even change it up to just say Palestinians simplicity. Like maybe that'll help you out. So let's just.
Okay, change the title of this room to Cesar Chavez, pedo, rapist, union prophet, psychopath, liberal.
Sit your stanky ass up, stop shouting, bitch. Still my great
Hello? 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 Oh, they kicked me. Okay, so we're going to live stream in from an anonymous account. And I hope you enjoy this sample of Name That Room. This is the raw, unfiltered Clubhouse without any blocks, because I'm the most blocked person on Clownhouse. That makes me the god, king, and master of a digital realm or a parallel society known as Clownhouse!
It's on Steel right now, honey.
Just chilling.
That's alright. It's on Steel and then you and then Lion
Don't try
and
to
then
console
Chili.
me now, Don. After you done let Norm fuck up the whole room.
Oh,
Be nice.
Jessica, let me handle
That
this.
for one thing before I yield to the rest of my time to the good Christian brother here, Concrete. I just want to stop and say,
I'd like to go in the queue, actually.
no, this is okay. Yeah, no, Concrete.
you request in the chat from now on,
Alright,
okay?
thank you, Brother Steele. I appreciate that. Elmore?
Yeah, this is President Trump.
Oh, sorry.
You know where it is, right? The voice control when you go to.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of background noises. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
He's like, Ocean, translate what I'm asking, and it's simple. Just prove the facts. I don't see what you're talking about.
Okay, this is politically correct.
The idea that the dollar dominance is in any way connected with the U.S. hegemony is also an open question. There are so many assumptions.
There's like 100 people in there.
Period.
This is
It's an
neoliberal.
equivalent of listening for 50 minutes of an AI geopolitics AI slop video. There are
Okay, we've gotten into the coolest room on Clownhouse now. The Cesar Chavez, pedo, rapist, union prophet, psychopath, liberal room. You could say this room. See, I don't know if Cesar Chavez was a bisexual or not. We're going to try to figure out a couple different things about Cesar Chavez today, because the article that I read was so disturbing. And it was so disturbing in the sense that I've read of many, and I've seen many cults essentially do the same thing, where the cult leader becomes so holy that his sexual union, even with union members, or it is even provided for the needs of the master of the union, which is Cesar Chavez, the great picker union organizer who was so famous, so well known, but now his reputation is crumbling down as victims come out and speak. Truly shocking. The mind control techniques, the brainwashing, the sexual abuse, the ruthless profiteering, the propaganda, the media, the videos, the television interviews, all the Cesar Chavez videos are being analyzed now, trying to find out, did Cesar Chavez have more aura than Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein? Is Cesar Chavez the biggest and greatest fraud of the 21st century? Just who and what is Cesar Chavez all about? Hello?
Throughout the 40s up until 48, right? Which is when they had their Declaration of Independence, right? That's a separation. So, yeah, they've been killing and grabbing for quite a long time, and it kind of culminates in what is called the Nakba, right? That's when
Honey, I know.
had to get up and go.
I know. It's called seasoning an account. I got it, honey. But I'm past seasoning accounts. There's no reason, because with Anon, you can mass live stream rooms. I've already set up recording studios. I've stopped doing it for momentarily because it's a lot of work. But basically, honey, you're spinning your wheels because technically people are just patterns, and nobody on this app has ever changed their pattern, which you would have to read a book to change a pattern here. And so people are just ruthless. What is it? Sadomasochists? Yeah. They're just ruthless sadists who are unwilling to do any type of education. I'm trying to learn here. You're interrupting me. You know how much wasted communication there is on Clubhouse? It's crazy. You're interrupting me. I'd like to get my point out. You're stopping me from getting my point out. It's just so crazy, all the wasted words we use. Ooh, I didn't mean to follow. I don't want to follow that guy. See, when you're talking about seasoning an account, Instagram is kind of the same thing, because if you go overboard in using Instagram, they will just delete your account. You'll never get it back again. So you have to delicately post, like 3 posts here, 3 posts there. You know, don't go crazy on the clicking like I'm doing right now. So I created a ton of new Sora videos, and Sora is shutting down. I really wanted to create even more today, but I think that'll probably be on my to-do list coming up shortly. Okay, so I have found that using Suno is a great filler for time, because if I want to create all the time, I have to find content to do that with. But because Clubhouse is so toxic and so stupid, and there's so much toxic word usage on there, that I'm constantly getting hate speech notifications on YouTube, and it's like threatening some accounts that now have multiple community guideline strikes because of things that people on this app say. Because people aren't reading poetry, let's be honest. People are disseminating very toxic, hateful, bigoted, wasteful words, which are not helping in any way whatsoever. If they actually believed that the opposite of what they say is what they want, they wouldn't be saying what they're saying. They would be saying the opposite of what they're saying, which is they would have to be interested in meditation and peace, and how to achieve that. Like, if you look up Maharishi and the Transcendental Meditation course, that would be one way that you could do some type of alternative content, which could bring you contentment. But they'd have to make that choice, and they never will. So we're here to do the heavy lifting for the people who refuse to behave like grown men, and they just want to sit at the children's table all the time and throw food around the kitchen. But I'm not going to clean it up. That's not my job. But I will be an educator. And if you want to drink from my well, all you got to do is take your big camel face and stick it in a bucket and drink. That's it. You got to become a camel. So without further ado, yes, we are live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Clownhouse, live on X, live on Instagram. We're live everywhere on multiple platforms. I'm looking at 30 different cell phones on tripods. Go to ChicagoMayorVote.com right now. And now I will give you a brief musical intermission as we take a break from the first 2 hours and 20 minutes of our morning podcast seminar. This is the John Kitover Band. I hope you enjoy. These are staff picks. Let's just do a quick sample. Here we go. See, the thing is, when you play other people's music from Suno, sometimes they are copyrighted because there is like this universal copyright database. And if some of these people publish their music, well, then I can't technically play it. So, but this is the best of V5. This is called After Midnight Moves.
You walk in like the DJ hit a switch, slow spin. Every head just starts to tilt, gold chain. Catching color from the booth, my name on your lips like something new. You pull me closer by the collar. Come in, say I don't usually even bother, but tonight you want a problem. I could be your favorite problem. You got me. Doing the midnight moves, yeah, right here in the center of the room. Hands on your waist, heart in the chase, body to body. I'm losing my cool. You got me doing the midnight moves, feeling like I'm stuck.
Okay, we got a new groove on the way for the campaign. Rabono Shalom. It's very exciting. We're going to try to create even more music for the campaign today. We did Babyface, but we are looking for best of V5 V5. Let's listen.
Nothing has changed, but everything has changed. I still can't stay in the light, but I feel strange. And I love the taste of cheap champagne on the couch, eating sushi while it rains. And I know that it's all temporary. For now, I wanna feel sensory.
Okay, this is a new John Kitover band song for the campaign. Here we go. It's called Midnight Vote Moves.
You log in, like the countdown just begins. Slow spin, every scroll just leads to him. Full page, pulling traffic to the booth. His name on your lips like something new. You pull that palette from your pocket, right here. Say I don't even talk. Tonight you want an option. He could be your better option. You got me. Doing it the midnight moves, yeah, right here on the screen inside my room. Click on his name, tired of the same, ready for changes. We're breaking the rules. You got me, oh yeah. Doing it the midnight moves, driving like I'm stuck on my truth. If this is the moment, I don't want the blow. It only be after midnight. Real talk, about the taxes on my mind. Scroll line, chunk it over, it's your time. We laugh at the chaos in the mix. One vote for a city we can fix. You let his message build the drama, so real, but we can heat up every dollar. Said tonight you want an option. He could be your better option. You got me, got me doing the midnight move. Oh yeah, right here on the screen inside my room. Play on your name, trying to stay ready for changes. I swear like a drum, put my chest to doing backflips anyway. Fuck keep weighing me down.
Okay, so we are remixing Best of V5 V5. This is Watermelon Rainbows. This was a fun one yesterday. Okay, here we go. It's amazing that you can remix or reuse and basically take somebody's top song and like make it your own, which is pretty amazing, which reconverts the copyright to you because you did enough modifications, or there is no copyright. It's hard to understand. There just is no copyright when you reuse it.
I walk in like I own the place, but my eyes are on the stakes. I'm dreaming by a city where the streets don't bend and break. Those keep weighing you down, like you're hauling something heavy. You're not asking for a throne, you just want a path that's steady. You're not cold, you're just tired of leaders saying you'll be fine. You're not lost, you're just wired for brand new bottom line. Don't look too close at the same old act. We're walking on glass, time to change the track. Go lift up the city, let the old outside. Don't look too close, let the people decide. Don't look too close. You laugh like it's a defense, but the cost is in the tax. You're watching every paycheck while the future's turning black. We can't wait too long, we can't wait too late. We can cast our vote, we can walk and change the fate. We're not broken, just burning quietly without a sound. We're not scared, we're just learning how to rise from the falling ground. Don't look too close, that same old act. Walking on glass, time to change the track. Don't lift up the city.
My friend, we're here making music. You came just in time. We're gonna make some music. You're gonna love it.
So much.
Like the pollen, it's just lit, slow grin. Every head just starts to shift. Name tag, catching light inside the room. Junkie, on your lips like something new. You pull me closer by the collar. Say I don't usually get mine, but tonight you wanna bet. It's in my head, feel you again. Water after water.
So what we're doing is remixing it, and I'm just throwing in like a John Kitover election prompt, and taking the best music already created.
Start to start, like a map drawn out in the dark. Check my phone, but there's nothing. Just a blank screen thinking about you. Walked into the kitchen, made a single cut. Habits die hard, I'm still messed up. Your hoodie's on the chair where you left it last.
And then, my friend, what we do is we take the song file, we upload it to DistroKid, and then on Instagram when I post, I can find that music, the John Kitover band. So I'm like the first candidate that's actually publishing music, publishing tax reform, publishing tax. Okay, this is the Quiet Fire, the John Kitover Chicago anthem. Oh, we're going big, baby. The John Kitover Band performing live at the Chicago Theater this Friday at 10 p.m. Liberate Chicago now! End the property tax!
Calling us to brighter day. Every block and every skyline holds a story in its lines. We can write a different future, leave a broken past behind. Change was never far away. It just spoke a different
That was a 6-minute John Kitover Chicago anthem song, The Quiet Fire. So we created a whole bunch of other songs. The Quiet Fire, The Wind of Reform Serenade.
City lights are glowing amidst dust. Streets are humming low with a restless trust. Skyline cutting gold, lakefront shimmering slow. Dreaming of a better day, just letting it grow. Yeah, letting it grow. And the wind on my face, it feels like a spark. Talking about a future that can light this dark. Got my 2 feet on this land. Reaching out a hand. Love is when I take serenade. Playing through the streets. A hopeful song where every neighbor meets. Voices rising strong and bold. Stories of a city told. Yeah, the rhythm of our hearts, a promise we keep. This wind of change serenade, rising so deep. Rising so deep. Lakefront shine, every skyline light in sight. Dreams of every block, stepping into the light. This moment's golden, we're taking back our time. Every single voice, a powerfully placed line. And the wind on my face, it feels like a spark. Talking about a future that can light this dark. Got my 2 feet on this land. Reaching out a hand on this rough chain serenade. Playing through the streets. A hopeful song where every neighbor meets. Voices rising strong and bold. Stories of a city told. Yeah, the rhythm of our hearts, a promise we keep. This wind of change serenade, rising so deep. Rising deep. It's a slow shift in the breeze, put our worries at ease. Hear the sound of the city calling out to be free. Oh, this wind of change serenade, playing through the streets. City lights, but they look so cold. Every promise already sold. Running circles inside my mind. Dreaming of a free time. Maybe we're just scared to try. Maybe we believe a lie. Holding back what we can't ignore. There's gotta be something more. I hear a voice inside the tide. No more letting life pass by. Maybe we can shake the sky. Choosing how we live and thrive. Building dreams we can't ignore. There's gotta be something more. I'm craving change. I need to feel something real, not just something I wanna hear. More than always to check my phone, read the city news. All these headlines, we got more to lose. Talking about the neighborhoods that need some love. Dreaming about a leader we can be proud of. On the south and the west, every single block. Time to build it up, time to talk that talk. We're trying to move on, trying to find our way. Lift the whole town up every day. The rhythm's here, the vibe is strong. Voice of the people gonna sing this song. Now we filling up the empty space. Every street and every place. A little bit of hope, a little bit of change. Rising like a beat in the cold. Go to Chicago, play all over.com. Go Chicago strong, keep pushing on. Go John, Kitover, lift up every space. John Kitover, 2020 serve for this place. One step, two step, marching down the road. Every single ward in election mode. Future of the city in the people's hands. Time to back a vision with some real plans. Tax reform talk, make the burden fair. More for the schools and the homes right there. So bold, so bright this year. Every voice in the crowd so clear. Go to Chicago, election.com. Let your choice ring out like a song. Now we're filling up the empty space. Every street and every place. A little bit of hope, a little bit of change. Rising like a beat in the pouring rain. Head to John Kitover, Chicago.com. Spread the word around, keep pushing on. Go John Kitover, lift up every space. John check my phone, read the city news. All these headlines, we got more to lose. Talking about the neighborhoods that need some love. Dreaming about it. Be proud of on the south and the west, every single block. You said elections coming Tuesday. By Thursday, signs are on. See the posters on my corner. Name in red and white and strong. Phone lights up with all the headlines. Futures calling, streets undone. Every ward in every station, every vote, it starts with one. Chunk it over. Chicago rise up. For the Chicago native over.com. Making town time to stand up. Chunk it over. Shaking it up. Tax reform from every pocket side. Liberate and lift us up. say that we need change now, less corruption, straighter plans. Take the power from the back rooms, give it back to working hands. Every train in every schoolyard, every small shop on the block needs a leader for the city who will fight around the clock. John, get over, Chicago, rise up. Voice down, make a vote for George Orwell. Make it count, time to stand up. John, get over, shake it up. Tax reform for every pocket fight. Liberated with the I was waiting for a sign to start, like a map drawn out in the dark. Now the city's calling out my name to choose a brand new path. Tired of watching from the side while the streets and dreams collide. So I take one step with my vote. Time to change this heavy load. Maybe we don't need to know it all. Maybe we just need to vote so we keep moving anyway. Chicago choose a brighter day. Go to Chicago, mayor, vote for calm. Let your voice lead the way. Every choice rewires me. Every vote unlocks a key. We want tax reform today. Vote John, get over, pave the way. Doubt's still riding in our heads, but it won't get the final say. We can rise and stand as one. Go Chicago starting today. We don't need a perfect line, just a reason, just a sign. Every inch we claim is ours. Every step. Go slow, go fast, just don't go back. Trust the rhythm in this town, time to lift our future now. So we keep moving anyway. Chicago, stand up, have your say. Go to ChicagoMayElection.com. Vote John Kitover today. Every vote unlocks a key. We want tax reform now. Grow Chicago, rise up now. I walk in like I own the place, but my eyes are on the stakes. I'm dreaming about a city where the streets don't bend and break. Girls keep weighing you down, like you're hauling something heavy. You're not asking for a throne, you just want a path that.
Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the John Kitover morning podcast. I'm going to shut all this down on the live streams. God bless, health, wealth, love, peace of mind, happiness, and strength. Go to John Kitover, Chicago.com, or ChicagoMayOrVote.com right now.
Do you understand that anytime somebody says,
Okay, everybody, thanks for being here. Go to ChicagoMayoral.com, ChicagoMayOrVote.com, John Kitover, Chicago.com right now. Like this video, share this video, watch some other videos. Subscribe to us on Instagram at John Kitover. Subscribe to us on TikTok at John Kitover. Go to ChicagoMayOrVote.com. Go to ChicagoMayoral.com. Go to ChicagoMayOrElection.com. Like this video.